2022. Good morning, Moran. Good morning, everybody. If you like what you experience and hear on this channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you know when we come live. Today I have the honor and privilege of bringing with me a once famous poet by the name of Robert Blake. And he came in, he said the reason he wanted to speak is that it was important to understand that in his time, the articulation of the divine was done through poetry. As to imply that you had some immediate connection to the divine could often get you in trouble with the established authorities around religious belief and dogma. So many artists and enlightened men in the Western worlds would tend to use poetry as a medium, such as William Shakespeare would use poetry and creativity as a medium for communicating great, profound spiritual truths. And he says he's come today because it's important you understand that civilization has reached a point where there's a level of openness and acceptance with the possibility that the divine, in fact, does live inside each and every one of all of us, whether we are in the form or not in the form. He wants to take this opportunity to help you to understand that this divinity within all things is all-knowing. And the closer that you can get to connecting yourself to that divinity, the less doubt you will find you'll ever experience in life, as an all-knowing mind cannot make a mistake. An all-knowing mind cannot make a mistake. The obvious beauty of nature would indicate to most intelligent people that there is an orderly consciousness directing and orchestrating the activities of grass, of trees, of wind, of bird, of fish, of humans. If you understand that fundamental consciousness, if you can engage with it, connect to it, become one with it, there's a level of creation, a level of experientiation that is available to everyone, but of which only a few actually avail themselves. If you are willing to place yourself into the possibility that there's an all-knowing intelligence within you even, there's great evidence to support this from the simple things in your life that would tell you that there's something very intelligent going on, even in the simple act of eating an apple. In the simple act of eating an apple, as simple as that might seem, you don't seem to care too much about it after it leaves your mouth when you swallow it. But there is that intelligence that you have now delegated the job of taking that apple and turning it into your flesh. And it does so. It turns that apple into your flesh. It turns the meat, the bread, into flesh and bone. That is not an act of ignorance, but an act of great knowledge and understanding of the mysteries of life, which are no mystery to this divine intelligence. That it resides within you is what is most remarkable. That you oftentimes don't remember that is disturbing and has been a source of much discomfort and confusion and disagreement among humans. If you understood that the same intelligence was in each other, that it expresses differently by way of your connection to it or your distance from it. The further away you get from knowing it, the greater your suffering will be. The closer you come to understanding it, the greater your joy will be. Understand, an all-knowing intelligence cannot make a mistake. Does it not then make good sense to align yourself to it? It is such an exquisitely beautiful intelligence. It opens the petal of every rose. It drops the leaf off every branch, off every tree. It gives life to every fish, to every fowl. It gives breath to every child that is born with breath. It builds, it destroys, it creates, it renews, it revitalizes in beautiful, sequential joy. the closer you are to it, the closer you come to knowing it, the greater your freedom is, for its knowledge becomes your knowledge. If it is all-knowing and cannot make a mistake, then the closer you come to recognizing it, to truly recognizing it within you, then to that degree and extent your life will be free of error. In fact, even error will be a gift of this intelligence. So in fact, even error and suffering in their own right have the opportunity to bring you closer to it, not further from it. If you choose to define yourself only by the suffering of your life, then you shall have more of your suffering. If you choose to define yourself by the opportunities that your suffering might provide you with, then you will suffer less. There is a simplicity in this. When I came to this one, it was with the understanding that he had the requisite information to enable me to articulate in the language that you would understand what I understood when I was in my biological form. And as so many that are no longer in their form that likewise understand, you call them ascended masters. You call them angels. You call them divine beings. You call them deities. Call them what you will, but those that are in alignment with the knowingness of the all-knowing live a life very differently than those who are separate from it by belief. But it is only by belief that you can be separate from it. For an all-knowing mind will grant you all that it can and all that you desire. Even the catastrophe and tragedy that you might suffer is a gift bestowed upon you by it. And some would say, well, why would this all-knowing intelligence do this? Because it knows that all things are affected in very precise and perfect ways in relation to all other forms, all other times, all other spaces, all other dimensions. The statement you have heard, not a leaf shall fall, that this Father, which is the label that was given to it, does not know of it. It knows of all things, the hearts of good men, the hearts of evil men. It knows of all these things, and it knows how to utilize the acts of all. An all-knowing intelligence cannot make a mistake. Only those that believe they are separate from it or think that they are somehow greater or more special than that intelligence that is keeping them alive, woe to them. They will suffer the pains of separation from that which gives them life. If you choose to find in yourself that light, that knowingness, listen to that voice within you that says, do this, do not do this. You shall come home fairly quickly if you understand this statement. Listen to the voice that says, do this, do not do this. Listen to it in your body, for it lives silently in your body, but you can hear it. If you place your head upon the chest of another, you can hear it very loudly inside the rhythm of the heart, the digestion of your food, the circulation of your blood, the movement of energy from brain to body. It is there within you, waiting for you to understand it, to embrace it, not to merely observe its beauty in the life forms around you, such as the plants and the animals, to be in wonder of them, but that which is in them is also in thee, that light, that divinity that knows all that you know, that does all that you do. To see and know and recognize its beauty is to liberate yourself from suffering. And those that have overcome their suffering know the truth of what I am saying. Those who have overcome their suffering know the truth of what I say, that a greater joy resides in not believing that something has been done to you by a diminishing consciousness, but offered to you as an opportunity to get closer to love, to get closer to joy, to get closer to all things in truth. The nature of your mind is such that you may think that it is the only foundation from which you can begin to comprehend what you perceive. But your mind is but one small fraction of who you truly are. Your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, and your concerns about the future are but small parts of what you truly are. But they are equally great in how they may be utilized in the process of aligning yourself to beauty, to live in beauty right now, to know that you are in it, that you are in the divine mind right now, and that when you look upon a thing, you are observing the divine mind right now. And when you hear a sound, you are hearing the divine sound right now. And if you are smelling something beautiful or something not so beautiful, you are smelling the divine. It is all around you, and it is all within you. Are you willing? Are you willing to get close to it, even if it may seem that you might suffer a little in getting close to it? When you know that it is the all-powerful, that it surrenders itself to you, then what fear of harm would you have? What fear of harm would you have? That body that you find yourself in is but a small looking glass through which you gaze upon this world, through which you hear thoughts, through which you observe what you observe. But it is not the sole source of who you are, but a very vital and important part of who you are, for the realization of the divine must be attained consciously. It cannot be attained unconsciously. You must come to know it, to see it, to experience it. In my writings, if you care to see them, you will observe that there seems to be almost a mystical, illusionary insinuation that there's something more to what I write than what you read. And that is because there is. And if you are able to go beyond the structure of language, the method of rhythm, into the meaning of feeling, you'll come closer to the truth of what is written. You will find freedom in this divinity. It exists as equally everywhere. Even one in a prison that understands the truth of their own relationship to this intelligence will find great freedom even in the smallest of spaces. Even with the extinguishing of the body's life, there is another freedom for one who understands and knows this intelligence. An all-knowing mind cannot make a mistake. And you can look around you and see in the seasons and their orderly progression, the cycles, both great and small, the ebbs and flows of temperature, the comings and goings of life forms and humans alike. It knows all these things and is without limit, and the closer you are to it, the more you can experience that process as your own. Even in the body that you find yourself hearing these words, there is a great experience of being to be had that does not end with the body when you come to the understanding of what I'm saying, that you know this divinity, that you know this within you, that it is where thought may separate you from it, thoughtlessness may also unite you with it, to have little thought in your mind, but to experience what is still there, to have little thought in your mind and to still experience what is there, to be in this moment, to look upon a blue sky without the reference in your mind for it, to simply know its beauty, to look upon the points of light in the night sky and to simply know them, to not try to make a name for them, but to experience their beauty, to watch a butterfly land before you and not think about the butterfly, but experience what is there, to watch water fall from the sky and to not simply say that it is rain, but to experience that. This intelligence that is all-knowing is everywhere at all points of your being. How close are you to it? How far are you from it? If your suffering is prolonged, then your separation, your path away from it has been very far. If your closeness to it is established, then your joy is high. You'll be held in high regard. You'll be held in high regard. But if you understand this, and you can hear and see and know this truth, that there is a life in you, a life around you, all embracing, all encompassing. It is both within you and around you simultaneously. And you may know it, and you may not know it, but you can never be separate from it. Seek not to try and figure out the beauty of things, but experience the beauty of things. And you will know from your experience what is true and what is false. The changes that you are seeing now are because you are all given the opportunity, without exception. You are all given the opportunity to know this, to be connected to it, to be one with it. And again, the description of what is said is not the same as what is experienced. One must experience what is said to know the truth of the words. But your experience of that, to walk out your door, go down the street, knowing that there is an all-knowing intelligence both within you and around you, what then would you have to fear? What then would you have to fear? Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. If you're liking what you're hearing, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and click the notification bell so you know when we're coming live. Hi, everybody. Hi, Adam. Hello, Heather. Good morning. Hello, Vonnie. Hello, Lauren. Question from Lauren. May I have some advice for my son, Lawrence? Well, advice. They're saying you don't want advice, you want truth. Truth is much more effective than advice, and if it should fall upon his ears and he hear it, it will free him. Yes. This is a very small, like, short being that hangs around him a lot. A very playful being. Do not let us tell him to stop letting what he's afraid of move him. Tell him to stop letting what he's afraid of to move him, to bring him to action. Do not let this fear cause his thoughts. It is important he understand to release his fear. And this is something I want to say that's happening with the ascension movement on the planet. These energies that are coming into the planet right now that are going to be increasing over the next few years, they can only be used in two ways, positively or negatively. There's no in middle ground with these energies. You either go really high or you go really low, but there's no Mr. in between in any of this stuff. And they keep telling me the same thing. For what good that you will use your thoughts and actions, that good shall be multiplied. To what use you should use your thoughts to harm or hinder, that too shall also be multiplied. There is no more in between. There is only that which is good and that which is not good, that which is just and that which is unjust. There is no more in between. Each and every one of you must commit to your light. But these ascension energies, there's no way that you can avoid them. So please tell him to surrender his fear and do not act or function from fear. It's been a big lesson for me personally the last couple of years. Just realize, especially around time, realizing that you have all the time in the world that you need. That was a big lesson they gave me. And I've been given many opportunities to experience that reality, that you have all the time that you need to get done what you need in this world. And from that awareness, so much more can happen in a shorter time frame. So please tell him to not let his fear govern him. Hi, Nicole. Question from Nicole. My mother took a picture of a strange entity outside her bedroom window looking in at her. Any message for her as to who or what this is? There are two archangels that have been watching her for some time. They're waiting for her to, they're showing me that she's got something to drop. There's something she's been carrying for a long time. She has to drop this. They want to stand on either side of her, but she must let them in. She must surrender her. I'll use the term because the way I'm interpreting, I'm getting like this feeling of a big baggage, something that she has to drop in order for them to work through her and with her more effectively. But there's two archangels, and I'm getting that Shamuel is one, and Michael. But there's a third that comes in periodically. But these two, Michael and Shamuel, want to work very closely with your mother. So yes, yeah. Once she drops the baggage, she'll feel the presence. It won't be something she'll see outside the window. They'll be beside her. Right? She has to have the energy of that energy away from her so they can come closer. A lot of people don't realize that emotional energy can repel and attract. A lot of people are saying, where are my guides? Where are my angels? They're all around us. And if you're in a state of fear or uncertainty, then that acts as a field that keeps them at a distance. If you open up to the possibility that you can experience guidance and love from them, then you're going to move from a state of fear to a state of open receptivity. And that's what's really important at this time for accessing the dimensional beings that are around us all the time, that are here to assist us and guide us. Some people call it intuition or hunches, but these beings are here with us now. They're here with you now. You're not alone. It's learning to surrender your fear, surrender your anger, surrender your guilt, surrender your shame, and just be open to receiving light. Anger, fear, guilt, and shame will attract more of itself, just as love, joy, compassion, curiosity, and playfulness will attract more of itself in your life. So if you're in a really dark place, any of you, if you're ever in a dark place, be willing to open up to the idea that there's love around you that you can receive, and be open to it, and you'll experience it. Ding, and you'll experience that. I know I've experienced that many times in my life, where I thought I was done. I just said, hey, I need some help here. And something happens. A person shows up, an event happens, a check comes in the mail. There are wonderful things all around you waiting to get into your life. I mean, Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot, where they say, ask and it's given. And we're all asking. Everybody's asked. Everything you want is around you. But how do you surrender your fear, your anger, your guilt, and your shame? We go into that in great detail in our mediumship masterclasses, which you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our upcoming schedule, which I think we started July the 8th. We begin our level 1 masterclass. And it's learning to connect with your guides and angels. You're not here to suffer. You are not here to suffer. You are here to express your divinity, to learn, to experience the love of life that you were born with. Everybody was born in love. You came here in response to love. But yeah, you really want to get to that place where you're inviting them in energetically. And I hope that helps your mother out, Nicole. Whatever that bag she's holding is, she's got to let it go. I don't know what it's connected to, but it's always, whenever they talk about bags or things that people are holding on to, they're always referring to lower vibrational energies that we carry forward from our past of anger, resentment, guilt, shame, fear of what has happened before in the past, and it's gone. But letting go of that emotion is so important to be able to learn that skill. How do you let go of your fear? How do you let go of your anger? We've had a lot of people in our program that have literally let go of years of fear. We've had people say, have they gone through various types of therapy, and in a single hour they've released more fear and anger and shame in the simplest and most loving way. You know, you don't have to analyze suffering to get rid of it. You have to embrace something different. Anyway, that's a beautiful, beautiful statement. Thank you so much, Nicole. Great question. Question from Tanya, and thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Nicole. I used to be an avid Bible reader. Revelation speaks about food shortages, wars, lovers of themselves. Is something catastrophic coming that Revelation is talking about? Will we start over? I have been told that between now and May of 2044, humanity collectively must learn to shift its collective consciousness from a dominant vibration of fear and the actions of fear that come from it to a dominant vibration of love and compassion. Most of our leadership are corrupt. They're not functioning in the interests of everybody. They're functioning in their own selfish interests. And that has an effect on the people that they serve. And if you serve by fear, then you will create fear in the people that you serve. And that vibration of fear creates an energy. That vibrational energy of fear creates effects in behavior. And those effects in behavior cause changes in society. So they told me between now and May of 2044, that if we're able to shift the collective human consciousness from fear to love, and reducing the population by half isn't going to do it, because the other half is going to have their own stuff to deal with still. This is a collective we're in. So learning how to shift human collective unconsciousness from fear to love. And this is what Ascension is designed to do. This is why all these people are having this awakening and suddenly becoming aware of this spiritual energy and becoming aware of guides, and they're seeing phenomena because we are awakening as a species. And we are at that time. Noah said on Monday, we are at a tipping point. That love is the arc for transformation, humanly speaking. So learning to get into a vibrational state collectively of love is how we can alter this. We cannot separate ourselves by what we feel from the world around us. What you feel affects your behavior, and your behavior affects others. You know, if you're in a state of anger, if you've got a whole society in a state of fear, that's generating a field of energy. That energy is going to have an effect on matter. It's going to have an effect on what we do or don't do as a species, as a collective. Anyway, that's what they basically told me, is that we're at that tipping point, is what Noah said on Monday, and they've been telling me that we got to shift the unconscious collective energy from fear to love, and that's what Ascension is about. The whole meaning, the whole reason for this channel existing is for that purpose, to give people the knowledge, the information, the understanding, the opportunity, the experiences to shift their consciousness from fear to love. And every one of us that can shift our consciousness from fear to love is going to affect so much more. Love is such a powerful energy, and it can transmute fear that fast. Thank you. Great question, Tanya. So wonderful. Glad you asked that. Absolutely. He says to Earth Angel Amy, he's saying, please continue your dance. It delights all of them. It delights all of them. And I think you know who all of them are. Thank you so much. That would be the fairies and the plant creatures and the birds that she dances with. Yeah, I invite you to go check out Earth Angel Amy's channel on YouTube. She does a lot of work with the fairies and out here in the eastern end of Toronto. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Oh, you're welcome, Lauren. Question from Moran. I did not have the borders of my country for 2.5 years. I felt it wasn't safe for me energetically. I really want to fly in July. I want to know if it is safe for me. Thank you so much. This is the last week. 8 months ago, my guardian angel and a few others told me that most of the nonsense, and I'm stressing the word nonsense, in the world would come to an end in 8 months. And that 8 months expires this Sunday. I find it interesting that this week, of course, the government of Canada is now announced they're going to be lifting all the restrictions. But I asked them, I said, is that what you're referring to? He said, that's just one part of a whole range of other things of nonsense that are in the process of being removed, the nonsense coming to an end. Economically, socially, politically, the nonsense is going to be removed. And those who think that their best interests are above everybody else's are sorely in for a rude awakening. We are a collective species, whether you accept that truth or not. We may be individual bodies, but we are a collective consciousness that are designed by nature to work in a union together, in love, in compassion, in playfulness. We don't even need food to eat if we understood this divine law. If you understood divine law, you would not need to consume the planet for food or the trees for shelter. You would not need to do this. You would understand the nature of your consciousness is not affected by the conditions of time, space, and matter as you think it does. But that's not for today. Thank you for that question, Ron. Yes, it'll be very safe for you. Very safe and enjoyable. Go enjoy. Release the fear and go enjoy. Go enjoy. Do not book your tickets. Do anything until you are doing it from a place of joy. Question from Trish. May I please have guidance on care or support for elderly parents? I wish to serve them in the best way that serves everyone's greatest good, including relationship with my brother. They're just telling, understand what you call the elderly are those souls that have elected to move into another realm of consciousness. They have learned what they can from here. They're departing. The best method for caring for them is the way you would choose to be cared for yourself, were you in their position. Let your heart be happy and filled with joy that you get to serve this beautiful soul. Why else would you be there but to do this? But do so with love. They're saying be the demonstrator. You must show the way for others. For others may not know it, but you do. Others, yes, others know. Yes, others must know what you know. Please do so with love. Also, so I don't know who this is, but they're saying really important to make certain the elderly are properly hydrated, proper water, proper food. And if you can, you'd be surprised at how far you can extend their life by teaching them to exercise whatever they can exercise. You'd be surprised at how life can be extended. Thank you so much for these super chats. I really appreciate it, Lauren. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. If you want to support this channel, please use the super chat. It's really helpful and it helps us keep doing this 4 times a week. And it's live. We don't do recorded. They told me never to do recorded stuff unless it was for other ventures. But for these events, they said it always has to be live because there's no mind to get in the way. There's no script to interfere. There's no fancy music to entice or manipulate. It's strictly the vibration that we transmit through this frequency that you can resonate with or not resonate with. But they said it was always to be done live. So thank you so much for your support with this. Really appreciate it. A question from Sophia. How do I remove the pain in the back of my head on the left? I'm being told you gotta again, do not take this as medical advice. This is simply just a suggestion, but I'm being told that you are deficient in a vitamin B. There's a vitamin B complex that you're very deficient in, and you need to increase the water intake for assimilation. I don't know why, but somebody's also coming in to say there's somebody that's been getting heart palpitations a lot lately. Drink more water. Whenever you feel your heart palpitate, drink more water. And also for those of you that find yourselves getting overheated, drink more water. Your body's telling you it is overheating. It needs to be cooled. It's like a car. If it gets too cold, it needs fuel. If it gets too hot, it needs fluid. Cool down. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Lauren. Question from Olena. Does Saint Bernard have a message for me? Thank you. I'm just hearing this loud, uproarious laughter right now. It's like really loud laughter. And he says, be of good spirit. Be of good spirit. Laugh if for no reason but to laugh. Laugh if but for no reason but to laugh. Yes. So that is a really strong communication of joy. And I hope you receive that in the spirit. I'm certainly feeling it in right now. So please laugh for the sake of the joy. Wow, wonderful. There's thank you so much. Question from Adam. Once you are done with the others, please don't forget to answer my question earlier. Of course, Adam. Just so you're aware, if you use a super chat, it draws my attention too. That's an option for you. But I will, there we are. Question from Adam. Please explain how creative visualization functions as a constructive process for making an astral servitor. How exactly does it allow consciousness to be in a vibrational construct? If you understand that you, as the conscious awareness by nature, whatever you put your attention on, a process of organization begins in relationship to the vibration that you are in. If you are in a vibration of joy, then the energy that begins to be organized will be of that nature. It comes into form when the coalition, the unity of the particles becomes a certain mass, and that mass becomes perceptible to the senses. So it goes from very small, invisible particles that get organized into larger particles. The longer you hold your attention on a fixed idea, the more you coordinate the energy into manifestation. The energy must be maintained and coordinated consistently. The act of visualization serves to give specific instructions to specific qualities of energy to organize themselves in very precise ways. Even your physical hand that you look at right now is an example of this. It was once an idea, an image in a mind that manifested it into this form. So that which is held in mind, it becomes the form. That which is held in mind organizes matter to form, to reform. If you understand the simplicity of that, then the need for visualization in a consistent and very intense process can alter and change the dynamics of time as to when a thing will occur or when a thing will not occur. As your question is one of what are you doing and why are you doing it at this point in time to manifest what you wish, be very clear on this, that the stronger your idea in form it shall become. Understand this. The visualizing is to bring the matrix of the structure, to provide a frame for the energy to fill. That is what visualization is, quite simply. It gives a frame which can be filled by the energy that gets brought into existence by your focus. Wow, great question, Adam. Thank you so much. Going down here. Here we go. Got time for one more question. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're very welcome, Ruby. Thank you so much for showing. Those of you that are new to the channel, please remember to like this video by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other people. This time of ascension, I got to tell you, it's an honor and a privilege to be part of this human collective right now, because watching us go through this ebb and flow, and it's happened many times. Many times we've risen and we've stayed up a long time, and many times we've collapsed as a society, and that we're still learning. We're still learning. We're becoming something more than what you know. But it's an honor and a privilege to really be working with this energy and these people at this time. So now Adam's asking, but how exactly does it achieve sentience and become a being of its own free will, independent of the Creator? You must understand, nothing is independent of the Creator, but can operate independent with the Creator. You, for example, in that body with a heart that beats, that if that heart ceased to beat, you would cease to be also in that body. So you cannot be separate from it, but you can operate with it. You can operate with it. The creator and the creation are one and the same, and this is an infinite and eternal chain of causation. Please understand. Thank you, Trish. I really appreciate that. Well, guys, I want to say thank you for coming out today. Thank you for your time, your energy, your love, your patience, your support. It's greatly appreciated. I'll also be sending out an announcement to my patrons this week. We're going to be doing a special patron event over the weekend. You'll get that information in the mail in the next couple of days. I also want to remind everybody this Friday, June the 17th, how to turn the tide. And this is going to be with Gerald Jampolsky, how to turn the tide. And he told me to put in brackets, faith and knowledge in love is letting go of fear. Faith and knowledge in love. Faith and knowledge. I think that is interesting. Faith and knowledge in love is letting go of fear. And that's going to be with Gerald Jampolsky. And that'll be this Friday. So I hope you'll join me for that. And of course, we'll have our meditation this upcoming Saturday. I want to wish you all much love. And again, thank you for coming out today. Have yourselves a wonderful, a joyful day. Bye for everybody.